I knew I was going to be a writer when I was 12 years old. I didn't know I was going to be a successful writer, but I knew I was going to be a writer when I was 12 years old. If you ask me why, I have no idea why I knew that. There's nothing in my family history that would indicate a writer would be produced, but there was. Neither of my parents ever graduated from high school. I went on to a career first in academia while I was writing, always aimed at the idea of writing. My bachelor's degree is in journalism from the University of Illinois. My master's degree is in English literature, concentration on the beginning of the English novel from the University of Illinois, and my PhD is in communications from Northwestern University. I just decided very early I wanted to do this, whatever this was. And my initial impulse was not to write mysteries. It was just to write. And things I did when I was 12, 13, 14, 15 were definitely not mysteries. I didn't come to the mystery until I was 15. I was in the back seat of the car of one of my friends, who I just saw again recently. His father was driving us to school, and on the floor was a paperback book. I picked it up, and he said, "You want it? You can have it." I said, "But don't tell your mother where you got it." It was I, the Jury by Mickey Spillane. And I decided that this is exactly what I want to do. I went right home after school and wrote a very, very bad story, which I threw away. But that was the kind of the start in mysteries. I've done a lot of things other than mysteries. And it's unstoppable. I can't stop doing this. First of all, you know who I am? And you're a step ahead of me. Okay. How many of you want to be novelists? Most of you want to be novelists. Of those people who just raised your hands, how many of you have actually completed a novel? How many of you have written more than one novel and finished it? More than 2. Okay, more than 3. More than 4. How many of those of you who raised your hands have been published? The novel. More than one novel published? One novel published. A novel published. Yeah, you're the only one who's left. Okay. One novel published. The thing I'm going to say now, you're not going to listen to it, it's fine. In all likelihood, my advice to you after reading your novel would be, or novels, I don't care how many, would you put them in a drawer, forget about them, and do the next one. Hope you've had a good learning experience. I wrote 5 novels before my 6th was published, and by that time I almost had it right. That's why any movie that came out, if I could, by the time I was 12. I would go to movies regularly. So yes, movies influenced me greatly, and quite a few books, some of them by people who were forgotten, and in some instances, I'm sorry to say, I've forgotten, but they influenced me. I cannot teach you at all. I can't teach you imagination. I can't do that. Nothing I can say, even if we sat down every day and talked. I believe that you're either born with it or you're not born with it. That's the end of it. There are things you can struggle through in writing a novel or a short story that'll make it professional looking. But it'll be a struggle for you if you don't have the imagination and the ability to just make things come to life. Every one of them has an origin, an antecedent, often a very weird one. Mrs. Plout, I had a landlady when I was an undergraduate at the University of Illinois in Champaign. Pretty much Mrs. Plout. Very, very, very close to Mrs. Plout. Right down to being hard of hearing. I even made her house look a little like the one in the Toby Peters. It's a job. It is a job. It's a job. You go there, you sit, it's time, you write. I write every day, every morning, unless I played softball on Thursdays during the summer. Tuesdays and Thursdays the rest of the year. You write and you write and you write. If we didn't write and write and write, we'd starve. It's a job. When things are going well, when we least expect it, writing goes very well. Again, it doesn't matter whether you have inspiration. You sit down. There are days when it's forced. I push it and push it and push it and push it, and I get my pages done. I'm determined every day to write 10 pages. 10 pages every day, no matter what. Well, even there are days when it just goes zip, no problem at all. Sometimes I go 15 or 20 pages, no problem at all. There are days when it's really tough to do those 10 pages.
I'm going to try to do my best to do 10 pages a day.
Well, if you can't make 10, do 5. If you can't take 5, get one done at least every day.
Writer's block.
No, there was no writer's block.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
No such thing.
The way I work might have nothing to do with how you work. Every writer works in his or her own way. I told you my routine is at best 9 to noon every day, except when I'm playing ball or we have something domestic we've got to do, and then I do it. My goal is to write every day, including weekends, and I think you should too. I don't think you should say you don't have the time to do it. I made the time to do it from the time I was 12 years old. I did it. There is no, I'm too busy. There is no, I'll do it later. You just do it. You set aside the time and a regular routine, and you do it. Why? And I think the answer is I'm a professional writer. This is what I do.
And that is brought out in the first chapter very soon. So is that, you said you don't want to see these perfect characters, but,
No, I wouldn't
but
propose
if it's
it.
essential to the story and what their turmoil is inside, then that's okay.
Give it a try.
Okay.